You have Sims, right?
Yeah.
In China, we have this term called spare tire. The spare tire is this guy who's like, he's never gonna get the girl. Maybe 1 out of 10,000 chance the car broke down, you're gonna use that tire.
Just to get you to the next place to get a better tire.
To get a real tire.
Damn, dude. Alpha.
That's a brutal way to
That is.
objectify men. I'm like, yeah, do you know who come up with it? Chinese men. They would use it as a verb, like, I was spare tiring for this girl.
Because nobody appreciates the spare tire. The spare tire is to get to the next destination.
In China, if you're over 25, you are expired in the dating market. You are called a 剩女, leftover woman.
A what?
A leftover woman. After 25, you can't be picky anymore. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend. Imagine China is Leonardo DiCaprio.
China is Leo.
The whole China is Leo.
I dare you to say this in America. You go up to American girls and say, you're 25, it's done.
You are already done for Leo.
They would hate that policy.
They do. In China, they do that.
How come you never say anything when they come up with the 25? Why don't you say that's how we do it in China?
Exactly. I wanted to do that. Let me talk about it. I think Leo is just following Chinese culture. Maybe he eat too much dim sum. He went to Mr. Chow too many times. He just have the Chinese standard. You're over 25, you're expired.
Feminists made women delusional, giving good men a hard time. But karma is ruthless. Take a look at this conversation and see how this woman gets a reality check.
Is it unreasonable for me to look for someone who's 170 centimeters tall?
No, that's reasonable.
Is it unreasonable for me to look for someone with a bachelor's degree or higher from a similar university?
No, that's reasonable.
My annual salary is about 200 to 400,000 RMB. Is it unreasonable for me to look for someone with an annual salary of 300 to 4,000 RMB?
No, that's reasonable.
I was born in 1990. Is it unreasonable for me to look for someone born around 1990, plus or minus 3 years?
No, that's reasonable.
I have 300,000 RMB in savings. Is it unreasonable for me to ask for a dowry of 280,000 RMB?
No, that's reasonable.
If you meet these requirements, would you be willing to date someone like me?
I might consider it.
How could you?
I'd have to be out of my mind. Think about it. A man with an annual salary of 400,000 RMB, around 30 years old, who has a car and a house, and is willing to give a dowry of 280,000 RMB, and is handsome and over 170 centimeters tall. Wouldn't he look for an 18-year-old?
Yes, right. But it's also reasonable for him to look for someone like me.
I beg your pardon?
If he can find an 18-year-old, why would he choose you?
But I'm more accomplished than an 18-year-old.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In what way are you more accomplished? You're older and have more wrinkles, right?
That's enough. I don't want to hear anymore.
Yo, are the Chinese men adopting red pill ideology? I think they already have, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper. Let's get into it. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Ron back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So, you know, there's always been a lot of comparisons between the East and the West. But the ones that I've noticed get the biggest attention, obviously, is the United States and China, due to, obviously, both economies being pretty strong. Here's what I find interesting, though. I don't know what is going on over there in China, you guys. I think this has actually always been a thing, but I guess due to social media, it's being spread and to the masses to consume and hear about. And I had no idea that China men seem to have it just as bad, if not maybe worse than the United States. Man, feminism really has spread everywhere. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
Hello everyone. My name is Xiaoyan, and this year I've turned 39. I've always been single and never married. Now I can't find a partner, and this is causing me a lot of stress. All of my classmates and relatives are already married. At work, people are always talking about me behind my back. I feel like I'm on the verge of a mental breakdown because I don't think it's my fault that I haven't gotten married.
Now, I want to stop it right here because I think I need to go over a very important stat for you guys. Did you know that China is one of the countries where the men actually outnumber the women? Look it up, because I had to be corrected about this myself. Because I was under the impression that when I heard about this, I was like, oh, okay, it just must be a surplus of women compared to men. There's just not enough men to go around like you see in other countries, especially countries like Ukraine, obviously, for obvious reasons. But in this case, there's actually more men than there are women in China. But I think what you're seeing is RP ideology being displayed by these men by not taking any of these older women seriously, because just like over here in the West, you got a lot of older women that, you know, spent their younger years in their professions, not really concerned about trying to get married or whatnot. And now you're seeing like like we saw in the intro, because they're way more cutthroat when it comes to this age. After 25, you're left over. Now, you know, in the United States, if you between 25, 26, 27, 28, you know, men will still, you know, desire you on a higher level. Yeah. The whole China being Leonardo DiCaprio, that's pretty accurate. Oh my goodness, man.
这次回家，我爸妈都没有催我说我要谈男朋友。
This time when I went home for the holiday, I was surprised that my parents didn't push me to find a boyfriend like they usually do. Instead, they were unusually gentle towards me. This change made me feel uneasy, especially when I saw my dad smile and suddenly noticed that he had dentures. He's almost 60 now, specifically, he's 58. Seeing these signs of aging, I felt an indescribable sadness and heaviness in my heart. I started reflecting, what exactly have I been holding on to with this sense of superiority? What am I so proud of? These so-called standards and pride have never brought me any real benefit. On the contrary, they've only made my parents worry endlessly about my marriage. Thinking about this, I feel a deep sense of guilt. Although I know that my parents' aging is a result of time's cruelty, not something I've directly caused, I can't shake off this feeling of guilt. I know their biggest concern right now is my marriage, because I'm already 35 years old. In the past, every time I went home, my parents would tirelessly nag me to stop being picky and quickly find a boyfriend to marry. I used to think they were annoying, but this time when I went home for the holiday, my parents didn't mention my love life at all. Have they already given up hope on me? I feel like I've achieved nothing, ignoring my parents' advice, stubbornly sticking to my own views. No matter what others say, I never listen. I always believe my way is the only right way. Even when I realize I'm wrong, I never regret it. Although I make corrections when I see my mistakes, if others try to persuade me, I still cling to my beliefs. However, this time, seeing my dad's dentures, my emotional defenses really crumbled. So, I made a decision. From now on, if getting married can make them feel that I've become obedient, considerate, and filial, I'm willing to make it happen as soon as possible. I'll try to lower some of my standards for a partner. I hope they can feel my change and sincerity.
Be honest with you, good luck with that, because you're even starting to see women in America talk like this, and they're struggling. And you can thank social media for that, because if it's one thing that social media has been good for, is exposing how women really think and the true nature of women, the dark side, that side that women don't want you to see. That's why you got so many women that are anti-RP, because they don't want men to know this truth, because once you know this truth, now you have a little bit more power, because you have a better understanding of what's to come and how women are going to try to manipulate you to get what they want out of you.
你知道女生多大才知道后悔吗?
Do you know at what age older single women start to regret it? Recently, I've received consultations from several women over 40. Indeed, these older single women are beginning to regret it. Especially today, a 43-year-old woman made me reflect deeply. She is 160 centimeters tall, has a master's degree, and earns about 200,000 yuan a year. She admitted that when she was younger, she excelled academically, and right after graduating with her master's degree, many men pursued her, some with very good qualifications. However, at that time, she didn't choose to get married but focused on her career, hoping to buy a house in the city center and further improve her status so she could confidently find a higher quality partner. She did follow this plan. However, without realizing it, she was already past 30. By the time she was in her early 30s, her career had not reached the expectations she had set. There was not much difference from when she had just graduated. So, she decided to try matchmaking to find a suitable partner. But once she entered the dating market, she found that there were very few quality men, and most of the rare good ones no longer considered women over 30. She lingered in the dating market for several years, and by the time she was 32 or 33, she gradually accepted the fact that if she couldn't find a suitable partner, she might as well live alone. After all,
Buy a dog and die alone.
Oh man, now y'all see why Kevin Samuels referenced the Chinese whenever he was having these conversations with women on his channel, bro. Wow. Incredible, bro. Like the words being said verbatim is like what's blowing my mind more than anything. Like, that's crazy. Let's keep it moving.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another session with the older man. Yes, my friends, today I'm back with another juicy topic. We're going to talk about China and men being red-pilled in China. Listen, ladies, you guys have no idea how well you had it. This is the problem with women. You have no idea how great, how amazing you had it when men were doing stuff for you. When you had men fooled about how angelic, how beautiful, how adorable you were. But no, you had to go and switch it up and show men your true nature and demand more and more and more and more and more and more until men woke up and said, what the hell? No more, no mas, nah, no, no, nine. How many languages were that? Oh, man. And let me explain what I mean by this. I'm going to make her explain it nicely because this woman sees the problem.
To put it very bluntly, a man's awakening is the beginning of a woman's sorrow. This has become an undeniable fact. Why are there still some girls who continue to have the consciousness of gender benefits, thinking they are superior when things don't go their way? Oh, please open your eyes and see the real world. Men are increasingly choosing to lie flat and not get married. And there are still naive girls who, taking advantage of the scarcity of men, threaten them. They think that being scarce makes them valuable, and that when men marry them, they should support them and satisfy their insatiable greed. Please stop this behavior that shows a lack of intelligence. This is forcing men to give up looking for partners and to avoid marriage altogether. Everyone is stepping back, and good girls also suffer the consequences. Each one is hurting themselves and putting at risk what their parents have built. Are you not becoming more humble? When men are pushed to a certain point, they can really distance themselves from women and they won't die from it, right? The money they earn through hard work, isn't it better to spend it on themselves? The time and energy they invest in themselves, isn't that satisfying? Why should they spend a large part of their energy and wealth on women? Buying houses, cars, and paying dowries, and acting like a servant, always taking care of the princess's emotions? Do they have a tendency to become masochists? I ask you, I have been a matchmaker for 5 years. To be honest, the men I meet are becoming more and more aware. Don't you love to drink poison soup? Then keep drinking it until you're 60 years old. And there's still a wave of people trying to tear others down, actively sharing in my comment section stories about how a woman married 3 times ended up marrying a prince in Dubai. Dear girls who write to me, stay firm and keep your expectations. When you're old and lying in bed with no one to take care of you, your Prince Charming will surely arrive on his white horse, even if he is late. If you believe that, keep your expectations high. And for those who can see the truth, ask yourselves, when you're sick and lying in bed with no one to take care of you, I want to see if this poison soup still works.
And that, my friends, came from a Chinese female matchmaker. How many times have I gone over matchmakers in the US basically having the same complaint? You really cannot make this shit up, bro. Damn, y'all. China is Woo! Y'all going through it like us, man. Shit. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know when I'm uploading. Hit the like button because that's what the algorithm and helps me reach a broader audience. Also, look out for the travel blog channel, Unplugged Traveler. Link is in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.